I'm your host, Keeta King. Welcome to the Southern Comfort Podcast.
Oh, I got my girl with me, girl with me, girl with me, girl with me. Keeta King, in the place to be. Keeta King,
Keeta King, the queen.
girl with me,
It's Southern Comfort.
girl with me,
Southern Comfort Podcast. Keeta King, the queen. It's Southern Comfort.
It's your man Anthony Hamilton. Keep it locked right here for more entertainment and more beautiful soul from Keeta King herself.
She's Keeta King. Keeta King, I see what you're doing, girl.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Southern Comfort Podcast. I'm your host,
Oh, I got my
came in with a whole different vibe, and I can't even figure out how to turn it off at this point. Like, but at the end of the day, I got to send a shout out to one of my closest friends, family member out of the H, Cedric Castile, the Jedi from under level, but he's from like it's two of them, and he's not a solo artist. He actually has a guy who performs with him. His name is Freddie Freak. Shout out to both of them, even though Freddie didn't have anything to do with this. Shout out to Lower Level, not Under Level, Lower Level with Cedric. Also Q Stone, who was on the production aspect of this, straight out of the H2. Shout out to H Town. And they did a great job and with very little direction. So I appreciate them for doing that. So when I come back next week, I have to do their due diligence and make sure that you guys really get a feel for the song, because I feel like you really didn't today. But I got you. So I'm back. It's been a few weeks. If you know me, then you know why. But nonetheless, I'm glad to be back. It's been 3 weeks, as a matter of fact. I've been counting if you have not. And I'm happy to say that we have hit a year mark. We've actually passed the year mark. And initially, we were going to do that with Jeter. And you know how life be lifing. And so we ended up, my son got him. Well, actually, no, I went to the Southern Comfort Podcast, and I still had this little thing I wanted to show y'all. Not Southern Comfort Podcast, the conference, Southern Soul Conference. It was radio, media, and film. And it was really, really good, a good networking opportunity. I enjoyed the people that I met. I enjoyed some of the majority of the knowledge that I gained. But more than anything, I have to say that conference was a great networking opportunity for anybody who, whether you're a singer, songwriter, if you're in film, radio, or the like, it was a good opportunity to meet people from really across, not just the South. Like I met and connected with a radio owner out of Washington, D.C. And, you know, I really did not know that blues and Southern soul is really a whole thing there, but it is. And I didn't understand either that there are Southern voices that they're looking for, because they don't necessarily have them to come a dime a dozen. So anyways, did that, got off the plane, had to do a going away from my son, and then we took him to his new temporary home in West Texas, 7 hours away from his mama, away from his daddy, away from his Grammy. And but anyways, we did it. He's happy, we happy, and now I'm back. I'm absolutely back, and glad to be here and talk to my friends. If you know me, then you know. So all right, today is National South Carolina Day. I didn't even know that was a day. I wonder if they have a National Texas Day. I just wonder. Now that I'm gonna have to Google that, and if you do, Google it and let me know if they do, because I think that would be pretty dope to have a National Texas Day. See what goes on here, how it goes down. I'm in Texas, but anyways, shout out to South Carolina. If any of those people who are out there or in the area chime in. Matter of fact, Young Guy will be in South Carolina on Saturday performing, and in Utahville. I think I'm saying that right, Utahville. And so if you're in the area or you know somebody in the area, let a friend know or whatever, because he'll be there and absolutely performing his hit song, Plead, Take Heed. I always want to say Plead the Fifth. Let's see, what else was it? Oh, shout out to Big Mel. He had a birthday on yesterday, and I missed it, and I'm sure he has some very choice words for me. That's okay, as long as he save them for me or keep them to himself. Either or. I have to send a shout out to the big homie because I didn't get a chance to talk to him yesterday, but I will. But happy birthday to you. I know you turned a cool 21 yesterday, and you were able to go to the bar for the first time. You have to let me know how it turned out. Nonetheless, guys, again, welcome to the Southern Cover Podcast. I'm your host, Keeta King, and tonight we're gonna have girl talk. And let me give you this disclaimer: if which I don't foresee anything crazy going on, but I talk very candidly. Not that I'm X-rated and probably not even PG-13, but I don't like to. I wouldn't want to have an adult conversation with another female of my age and generation and not let you know that we're gonna speak very openly because I always say we have a conversation, we let the world eavesdrop on it. All right. So with no further, I'm trying to think, do I have anything else to say? Because it's been so long. It's been a minute. I can't think of anything. All right. I can't. If I do, I'll let you know. Make sure you drop your comments. Let me know you're here. Let me know that if you agree with something, if you don't agree with something, my skin is thick. It's fine. I love to have the dialogue. Nonetheless, just getting back into the groove of things, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce my guest tonight. I haven't had a lot of female artists on here for whatever reason. Not that I haven't tried, but I haven't had a lot on here. Some, and they were amazing. I have another amazing lady who I'm going to bring on right now, and she is Miss Melani. Melani, hey, hey.
Hey, Miss Keeta King.
How are you, love?
Keeta Queen.
Listen, okay, so today has been a day. I told you, and I feel like I'm literally podcasting today for the first time. So
oh my goodness. It's like starting all over again, right?
Literally, and I've only been away for 3 weeks. It's just, like I said, life be life, and it's a million things in on your mind. But yeah, Keeta Queen. I love the fact that said lower level. Shout out to lower level, not under level, for putting that together for me. How are you today?
I love the jingle. It is cute. I love that.
Thank you. They are so dope. Like I said, Freddie Freaks wasn't in on it, but these guys have been doing music for a long time. They're not necessarily Southern Soul, but they are the South. Yeah. And I don't like to be put in a box. And so I know a lot of people probably like, well, why didn't you have somebody from Southern Soul do it? I actually did ask a person or two.
You had who you wanted. It don't even matter.
And when it came down to it, I've heard some jingles, and I'm just like, oh, I don't want that to. Ooh, no.
I liked it. I thought.
Thank you. It's not representative of me. I do Keeta, whatever that looks like. I do Keeta. So you're doing good tonight. You look beautiful.
I'm trying to get this camera together. Can you see me? Okay.
Yes, I see you fine. I hope you can hear me. Okay. Yes, I hear you. I see you just fine. Happy Thirsty Thursday.
Thirsty Thursday.
Thursday. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Pre-weekend. Okay, so let's talk about you. So you were born in Connecticut, correct?
I was born in New Haven, Connecticut.
Okay.
New Haven, Connecticut. Not right now. Excuse me.
No, you're fine. Listen, we gonna have a conversation like girlfriends and let the people eavesdrop, and whatever it is what it is. Okay. Yeah, you fine. Go ahead.
But yes, born in New Haven, Connecticut. My dad was in the military. After his tenure in the military, we continued to. I've always been back and forth. So I've lived in a bunch of states. I was born in Connecticut, raised partly in Connecticut and partly in Louisiana. I lived in North Carolina for a time. I lived in Virginia for a time. I lived in Maryland for a time. Georgia for a very short time. So I'm kind of like a mutt, basically.
An army brat.
An army brat. I've been to a bunch of different cities, a bunch of different states. My dad also was a truck driver, so I traveled with him across the country. He did cross country driving, And so I really am a true daddy's girl, but born in New Haven, Connecticut. I've been in Louisiana for, in totality, over a decade. So this time when I moved back here, this has been my longest stint here. And of course, I will die in Louisiana. I'm here now for good, unless the Lord say something different. But, you know, I definitely have those East Coast roots. And then, you know, roots from different areas in the South as well.
Very well cultured.
Mhm.
Having moved around. Then you got your dad who's a truck driver. Then your mom was a poet. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that was a good mixture of various things. You got the arts, you got the travel.
My dad also was a singer.
Okay.
Well, let me tell you everything my daddy was. Okay,
Not everything.
It's gonna explain some stuff.
Okay.
But you know, military early, came home from the military, you know, ended up, because of all that he experienced on his tours, ended up on drugs, ended up, you know, not kind of following a good path, in the streets, hustling, doing his thing, to turning his life over to God, becoming an elder, a pastor, and then a bishop. So then, you know, I'm in the church. And also as a career, he was a truck driver. Now, my mom passed away when I was very young, close to 7 years old. So I really didn't have, I had women in my life, aunts, you know, my stepmother, of course, who I don't call my stepmother. I call her my mom because she's been in my life most of my life. But my father is the one who raised me. So a lot of my posterior, people can't really understand why I'm a little coarse. I'm a little rough around the edge. I'm a little harsh. I was raised by a man.
Yeah.
Okay. And so anyone who has been raised by a man can understand, you know, kind of my disposition on certain things, and the reason why I'm a little coarse. I'm a woman all day, 100% woman, but I was raised by someone who understood the streets, understood the church, was in the military, so he's very disciplined. And then, you know, he built a career and a business for himself, and really, you know, pulled his own life back together and became a success story. So that, all of that is in me.
That's beautiful, because
And raised a daughter, and raised
a daughter who's actually feminine and can do makeup and look amazing and still be a lady.
Thank you.
That's a lot. That's a lot. So regardless of the path that he took and got off of,
right.
Kudos to him for being able to do that, because
he did that. He did.
That is a lot. Is a lot.
Yeah,
absolutely. So you got your start in the Kojic Church as far as singing.
Yes, ma'am. Daddy was under the leadership of Pastor Shannon Cedar Grove. Shout out to Cedar Grove in Louisiana. And so I actually sang my first solo at the age of, I want to say 11. God forgive me if I'm wrong. It may have been a little earlier or slightly a little later. But I sang in the children's choir and the adult choir.
And I read that you sang in the adult choir, and all I could think of is I remember how serious those seasoned choir members were. You couldn't have paid me to want to sing with them.
Baby, like my nerves bad. Oh Lord, I'm telling you, but I did it, and they loved me. I was kind of like the kid because I didn't have a mom. I was always overly catered to. My dad was fine, so when he was single, he always had women just going crazy over me to get to him. You know, it was that kind of thing. So I was overloved, and people just really. They just took me and nurtured me and nourished. I'll never forget Brian, God rest his soul. He died of cancer a few years ago, but he was our choir director. And he really just, he worked with me. He would rehearse with me after hours at our home. He was also part of my dad had a quartet group as well. And Brian was a member of the quartet group. So they took up a lot of time with me. And just really, work with me, work with my voice, work with me, just training me,
Yeah.
training me for the ugly stuff, training me for people to just be staring at you and trying to figure out where the heck you going with this song. They really nurtured me. And that's where I got all of my love and passion for singing from, really was from the church. I had been singing before that in the church, but once I did that first solo and I knew I could do it, and I felt the energy from the people, that let me know, okay, yeah, this is what you love.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of where it started for me.
Okay. So during your career, you've been around a lot of the gospel greats. I know that you have in some shape, form, or fashion, BB Winans. What is his name? Who he had?
Bobby Jones.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
did Bobby Jones. Yeah,
Bobby
I did a
Jones.
bunch of stuff. God blessed me with so many opportunities, even before I really took myself seriously in music, even before other people saw me as a professional musician. I had so many opportunities. I would go to Nashville to conferences, gospel conferences. I've done Stellar Awards. I've done, showcases. I did multiple showcases for BB Winans. Bobby Jones, like I said, I did Bobby Jones. I've done background vocals for, I can't even name how many background in studio recordings I've done for professional singers.
Mhm.
Troy Oliver, I did some stuff with him in the studio. Jamal, David Johnson,
Mhm.
Niall, who is one of the loves of my life. He's such a good friend to me. Niall Parker, he worked with me a lot as far as vocals as well. And he really pulled a lot of stuff out of me. He was our minister of music in
Okay.
my church in Connecticut. But just really good people that I was able to glean from and work with and get a good understanding of, music and the business and just the passion, that it takes to really do this on a serious level. So I never forget my roots. I always talk about the church, and even though that's kind of touchy, when you talk about church because of where we are in Southern Soul. But I just, that's what's in me. I curse like a sailor. I got a little Peter mouth and all of that stuff. But
Okay, well,
I know,
good. Then. We'll do just fine. We will do just
I
fine.
know where my help comes from, and it cometh from who? The Lord.
Right, right, right. And sometimes people get that
Absolutely.
misconstrued because it's like, okay, now I may not be on the first pew or the third pew every
Right.
Sunday. However, we good. Like we have a whole dialogue daily, sometimes throughout the day. Today's
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
So when you did decide to make that transition, I know sometimes, even though church has been great to you, and a lot of the people, the majority, I would say 95% of people I've interviewed on the Southern Comfort podcast, they have come from a quartet or a choir, being a choir director or being in the choir. So they have some roots in the church. I do know sometimes church can be a little judgmental. So when you decided to transition to secular music, what was that feedback like for you?
It was, I have a story in between the story that I have not really told yet. I'm writing about it, but
Can you give us just a little bit of what it's about? Just, just a touch, just a
I'll give
little.
a I'll give a little touch. Basically, I was in the church. I left the church for a small period, or actually for a long period. I left the church. I was married. My husband at the time, God rest his soul, he's deceased. He was not in the church. And so I kind of came back to church while he was still in the street.
Gotcha.
And then he came in the church. But in between that and that, after his passing, I was dating someone who was heavily in the church. He was a leader in the Church of God in Christ, and we were dating for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
When I came out with Pressure Baby, I was going through a breakup. He hadn't broken up with me, but I had broken up with him. And in my mind, I needed to do something that would cut the cord permanently. I never told this story. I can't even believe I'm telling you this right now.
Let me tell you guys, this is exclusive. This is girl talk, and you just fortunate to be able to eavesdrop on it. But no,
yeah, and you know, I'm so tired of tiptoeing around it because people really be trying to figure out, okay, the timeline, and it's because I don't talk about this one component.
Gotcha.
But essentially, I needed a thing to really cut our cord because it was a stronghold for me, and we were together for so long. I believed in us. I believed in the ministry. I was doing the work in the church and just being really supportive and all of the things that we do as women. And it was ugly. The scenarios, he's a great guy. I'm not going to bash. I'm not going to do any of that. But we didn't work. I'll say it like that. Yeah. In my cutting the cord, I started journaling. I was doing a lot of journaling. I mean, like daily, I was writing. And always, because of my mom being a poet and writing, I had that in me. So whenever I'm down, whenever I'm depressed, whenever I'm feeling creative, I write. That's just what I do.
Yeah.
And so I have been writing, and I called some of you guys know Tony T. Tony T. I did
Tony T. I'm in the building.
Hey,
yeah. Shout out to Tony T.
I used to, Tony he worked at a church that I used to sing for, and so I told him one day, I said, "Bro, I really want to go in the studio. I want to record something." He was looking at me like, "Girl, shut up," because you're not about to go in no studio and record no Southern soul. But I had been writing, and something had came to me that I wanted to really put on wax or in the studio. So he was like, "Well, just come on, we'll," like, he really didn't take me serious because I only did church, and I was just known for church. I that's it. That was it for me.
Right.
And so, long story short, I went into the studio and I started Pressure Baby. I actually started it with Tony. And so, because of what I was dealing with, that was my way of, I knew that if I came out with this song, and it was recorded and done, but I didn't put it out. And I knew.
Why did you not put it out?
Because I was still teetering with this person that I'm telling you about.
Gotcha.
And I knew because of who he was in the church, if I put it out, it would definitely be the end of us. Church of God in Christ is very religious, and you just they could do whatever they want to do in the church, but you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
You can't sing this and then come talk about you. It just ain't gonna happen. Now, whatever you doing inside of the church, you can get away with. You can whore, you can commit adultery, you can smoke weed, you can get drunk, you can be homosexual, you can have threesomes, orgies, whatever you want to do inside the church, you can do it.
Yeah.
But don't step out and then try to come in here doing you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I knew that, and
that's good.
I just, finally I said, you know what? This is my life. I talked to my dad about it, and my dad said, "Melani, it's time for you to let that go. Just let it go. You are strong. You're beautiful. You're smart. You're creative. You have a career. You've raised your children. You've done well. You don't owe anybody anything." And this is my father, who was also a bishop. Mm-hmm. He said, whatever you want to do.
I didn't know your dad's a bishop. Okay.
He said, whatever you want to do, he and my mom, my stepmom, whatever you want to do, we support. As long as you, keep your boundaries and you stay grounded, you don't let that world, take you over. You do what you feel, whatever you feel is going to make. And once I had their approval, which was all I really needed, I said, I'm going to do it. And I just did it. I just came out with it. And that was that. And when I came out with it, it caused all kind of hell. I'm talking about all kinds of hell.
I believe you. I believe you. And I'm sure it took you a moment in time to get to a point to where you really did not give a shit. But because at the end of the day, you could have stayed. I don't. People always like to just negate what gifts are. Where do you think they come from? Where do you think they come from?
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Like whether you a football player, you're a singer, you play the drums, bass, it doesn't matter. Where do you think they come from? So what you think? What you're telling me at the church is that I can only display my gift within these four walls. Come on, man.
That's what they want us to believe.
Yeah,
but what's crazy to me is, you know, Denzel Washington, Angela Bassett, Magic Johnson. You have so many superstars. It's like if you exceed a certain level, then it's okay. You know, as you know, Magic Johnson give his size to the church in California, Bishop Blake's church. Is he saved? You get what I'm saying?
You don't care.
So it's like once you it's like if I got enough money, I can be saved and still do secular things. You know, Fantasia, Jennifer Hudson. You know, these people sing secular music, but they love the Lord. Why can I not love the Lord and do secular music? So I just got to the point where I just didn't give a damn, and I knew I wasn't going back to him or that situation. So that was the only thing that was really stopping me. It wasn't God that was stopping me from doing what I'm doing now. It was him in that relationship that was stopping me. And I just made up in my mind that it's not worth that to me anymore because, you know, what are we doing? What's going on?
So you wrote the song and recorded the song Pressure Baby. And now that you painted the picture, I can see now what all was going on. So let's bring it home. When you say pressure, you hear people talking about what is pressure, what's not pressure. Yeti, chill out. My co-host, y'all, I'm sorry.
Hey, honey.
I know, right? She wants to get outside and probably bark at a pit bull that was but we're not doing that today. Here's a treat. But anyways, like, so with you recording pressure, and like I said, now day and time, you know, that's the whole thing. So this and that is pressure. What was pressure to you at that point in time when you were dealing with what you when you were coming out of? I'll say that, what you were coming out of.
When I wrote Pressure Baby, I was sending a message, and it turned into something much more than that. I didn't know at the time really what I was producing or birthing. But at the time, I was sending a message to one man, letting him know, you're not going to keep playing with me. I cook, I clean, I'm pretty, I'm smart, educated, I take care of my family, I make my bread, I get in my bag, and you just not going to keep playing with me. That was the message. What I did not know is what God was doing with that message, because I got women who were suffering from depression, women who had low self-esteem, women who were obese, women who thought lowly of themselves because a man left them, women who were raising children as single parents. I got all of these different messages from women saying, you know, thank you for just empowering me. Thank you for making me feel good. Because when I sing it, I said, ladies, you pressure. I don't give a fuck what a man told you. I don't care what he did. He didn't do what he did because of you or because of what you're not. He did what he did because of what he is not. It don't have nothing to do with us most of the time.
What he lacks. And what you said that I love, in a room full of dimes,
I'm still a dollar.
Like, you know what I mean? And that is no shade to anybody, because
it's no shade to all the dimes in the room, baby, because we all, you know, the thing is, in my opinion, this is my opinion, all women are so sexy and so beautiful, and just, if you just really look at a woman, see me, I compliment women. Remember the night I met you? Girl, you are so pretty in person. I'm like that. I don't have a jealous bone in my body. I don't have an envious bone in my body. When I see women, I compliment them, and it's not a manipulating thing or just a way to get in. I just feel like women are beautiful. God created us for a specific thing. We are the thing. We are the it factor. Ain't a Negro on earth. You can't do nothing without a woman. I don't care what you say. You can't do it without a woman. It's us, baby. That's why he said he took us out of you so you could have favor. We're already black. We're favored.
Yeah.
We're the thing. And so I just try to encourage women everywhere, baby. I don't care how big. I done been small. I done been big. I gained 80-something pounds when I moved to Louisiana because of depression. I was fine. I'm still fine.
You but still gonna say you fine.
Okay. I was super fine. Yeah. Okay. But that's what low self-esteem. That's what undervaluing who you are as a woman. That's what not knowing who you are as a woman. That's what it'll do to you. And I just be wanting women everywhere to know, baby, don't let nobody convince you. Don't do that. You are beautiful. You are smart. You are strong. You are powerful. You are pressure. You pressure, baby. Everywhere I go, I say that. Everywhere I go, I make sure that somebody know. Oh, you pressure, boo. Don't let them fool you.
Make sure you guys download the song Pressure Boo. And I know it's been out for a little bit, but like, no, seriously, especially with you understanding and with me even understanding the intention and the power behind it, because you may not be standing in a pulpit, but your microphone is your pulpit. I used to use my microphone and you hear me?
Amen.
You may get a little scripture, you may get a little cussing. I don't know. But at the end of the day,
depending on what type of time we are.
My heart is pure, and I just want to right. And I just want to make sure that I give somebody something that maybe I didn't have or something that I needed, you know, in that moment. So let's talk about. I'm gonna go back to the music in just a second, but you said so many things as a woman, and since this is girl talk, we're gonna talk. My friend, okay, so you're familiar with the PC band. Shout out to the PC band. Love y'all.
Shout out to PC band.
Love y'all. So Nick, he has a podcast, and the name of his podcast is Stuck in Reality.
Okay.
If you have an opportunity, check him out because he is serious about it. And he has, just a plethora of people and topics that are on that platform right there. But he goes live on Facebook. And forgive me, Nick, for not knowing exactly when you do it, but I know I joined him the other night. Speaking of, I'm about to go there. Speaking of PC band, also make sure you check out their new single, "Let Me Be." And it's out. I think it's out right now. Whatever. But let's get to the topic at hand. So part of Nick is I consider Nick and I cool. Like I love them all. And the conversation that we had on the podcast, we've actually had sitting in their Sprinter. And like we go, Nick and I just have different views. I agree with him on a lot of things, but there are many things that I can't. And so let's go back to everything that you have said thus far between us in regarding women and feminism. Well, we're really feminism, but women and just pressure and self-esteem, all of that.
Yeah.
All that included. And when I joined, I was on his podcast his live. I'm sorry, it was just a live, and there was it felt very heavy for women as a woman listening to it, because it was like, well, why is it that Black women have to be so loud? And well, he didn't say loud. He said strong, and just the strong Black woman. But nobody wants to give us an opportunity to really talk about or really express what it takes, what we deal with on a day-to-day. Even if I'm not dealing with it, you are. You look like me.
Right.
If you know what I'm saying? Like, even if you're not dealing with somebody I know needs that little push, and it's not necessarily to be cocky. It is just to be confident and just to give somebody else, another woman, that boost of encouragement. So long story short, again, love you, Nick. Nick, sometimes his he has a little bit of a chauvinistic undertone for me. Now I'm not calling him male chauvinist, because I don't think he is.
Yeah.
people's experiences kind of dictate, where they are. Nonetheless, I was trying to explain to him because he made a comment about feminism and women's suffrage. Well, he said women's suffrage, but feminism. And I told him, in regard to the question he asked me about the strong Black woman and why do Black women, I always feel like we just got to be strong Black women. We didn't have a choice. And so before we had rights to vote and before anything that you see on black and white concerning a Black woman, anything you see in in government, anything you see, period, regarding us, it did not apply to us. So this is something that is so deeply rooted in us. It's not necessarily that you want a man. I feel like a lot of us, especially our age, let me say that, we know the role that a man takes. That doesn't make us inferior at all.
Yeah, because where I'm confused at was the question, why are we?
It was, and I don't want to quote it, but it was more or less like, basically, I did overtalk him a little bit. I have to admit. I have to admit, I did.
You were loud and strong, sis.
Well, I was very matter of fact. Girl, listen, you know how it is. Like
because I'm trying to figure out, do they want a weak Black woman? What are we looking for? And are we not looking for strength in our women?
I think we want to, when I say we, I mean in males, I think we want to pick and choose.
When they're strong.
When they're not, what we need from them. Now, and like I told him, like we hopped off the ship. We didn't ask to come to Western civilization. I don't care. We didn't ask them. But here we are. We had to sit and endure you getting tortured. We had to endure our kids getting taken, our kids getting raped. We had to endure getting raped. So let's figure out how to take that strong Black woman cape comfortably off of her. That's what
I'm never gonna take mine off. And see, this is the thing for me. I believe that there is a man, and I don't know Mr. Nick, so I can't, and he's not here to defend himself.
Y'all were on the same show. I sent him the link because I was like, if he happens to tap in and he's not happy with anything I'm saying, I
don't want to offend him, but and especially with him not being here to say his piece, I didn't hear the conversation. I wasn't privy to it. So what I will say is, I was raised to be strong. Okay. I am not my ancestors. I can't speak for them. I don't even think I would have survived what the women before me survived. Oh, no, I don't think I have the strength to endure being raped, over and over again without just killing myself. I don't have that kind of strength. I don't have the strength to bear my rapist children and make children for them to continue to enslave. I don't have that. But my daddy raised me strong. And I will never remove the strength of my womanhood. Now, what I will do and what I feel like is men who are manly, see, there's two things going on. So many of our men have been emasculated. So many of our men are not men anymore. I don't even know what they are.
Right.
And I'm just keeping it.
I'm glad you said it, and I didn't have to. But
okay. And I'm not referring to you, Nick. This is not about you because I didn't hear your conversation. This is in general.
Yeah.
So many of our men are not manly. That's why they can't handle. Let me tell you something. I got a new man. And when I tell you this nigga handles me, Keeta, okay?
But there's a certain trust level that you have with this man.
I can let my guard down with him.
Take that cap off when you walk through the door.
I don't have to hurry up and pay a bill. I don't have to hurry up and pull out my credit card or my debit card when I go to the restaurant. I don't have to speak up when someone's disrespecting me because he's going to speak up for me quickly. So there are men and then there are men. And a man can handle all of this strength. Period.
Mhm.
So I don't have to
It's
dummy
not
myself
too
down.
much.
No,
It's not too much.
I can be loud, I can be ghetto, I can be ratchet, I can be classy, I can be educated, I can carry myself well. But whatever hat I'm in on whatever given day it is, he can handle it. He not finna shut me up. He not finna stop me. He gonna let me say my piece. And guess what? I know when
to hush.
to let him be a man. I know when to sit down and be quiet. I don't have to go toe to toe with no man because he gonna stop that before it even gets started.
Right.
See, what we do, most of what women do, we do by force. We don't want to be, baby. I didn't want to have to go out here and get all these darn degrees and paperwork and all this mess just to go make 6 figures. I didn't want to do that.
Right.
I wanted a man to take care of me.
Yeah.
You feel me?
It's almost like you got 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. Because when you go do that, the things that you did, the things you just said you put in place for you to make sure that you were, financially.
Now I'm too independent.
Now you're too independent.
Pick a side, baby. What y'all want us to be?
But when you step back and it's like, okay, like I'm gonna let you, if you want to lead, I'm gonna let you lead. And then it's like, well, you're not pulling your weight, or you don't. It's so sad and it's frustrating because it's almost like.
That's why I said that. What kind of woman are you looking for? Because if you looking for a weak woman, it's plenty of them out there. But if I were a man, I would want a strong woman. I would want a woman that I know if my ship is sinking, she gonna help me make this sucker float.
Exactly.
Okay.
Where my cord leaves off, I can extend to her and connect, and
we're gonna make some shit.
And we're gonna make some shape. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But with that being said, and again, not necessarily directed or specifically about Nick, just the conversation in general.
Yeah.
Representing what men, not just him, what men feel. It's like, okay, you have to decide. First of all, who you are, because I think, and I've talked to you long enough today, and then when we talked the night, to know that you understand. I know some people may not agree with me. I don't care. You can argue with your mama, but I do agree with a hierarchy. I do.
Absolutely.
I feel like it is God. It is
absolutely.
It's you. It's the kid. Like I'm sorry. I just do, and I don't think that is necessarily old school.
No,
I just think that that's how it was set up. Mm-hmm. And me personally, if I have somebody who would go before me and prayer speak on my account, by all means, do it. I'm still, doing my due diligence or whatever. But it's like nowadays in time, and it's interesting to talk to people, this generation who's a little younger than us. They may be in the same generation, but they're younger. How it's like, the question was posed. If your man asked you ladies to make a sandwich, would you go do it? So my question is, who are you talking to who's married to a man who wouldn't?
Right, I'm confused.
You know what I mean? It's
the whole dialogue is confused. Like, why wouldn't I go make him what would be the reason for me not to make him a sandwich if he had? Because that's to me, that's just kindness. And just, that's because
I trust that you can make it for me. If I need it. Or if you
have
a bad day
type thing. Here, baby, we're gonna split this in half. We're gonna share this sandwich.
Right.
I don't even understand the question. Of course I would. Who wouldn't? I don't know who wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I do think that the younger, we gotta remember too, even though we look young, we are of a previous group of women. And this era of women, because of social media, because of Instagram and the Instagram model and the OnlyFans and just the world that these kids live in, that these young people live in, we weren't brought up in that.
Right.
And so you know, that's why I'm so loved, because, you know, my man is younger than me.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely not.
Because
But he loves
I
my
know some
bones.
old fools. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some old fools.
Okay.
So it doesn't.
Okay. He young and perky, baby.
Not perky.
But you know, the what he sees in me is, you know, I am in my what we call soft girl era. You know, I am at a place where I can let my hair down and just, you know, really let him take the lead on so many things that I would have never allowed someone to take the lead on. I am very strong, you know, and I own that. And I'm not ashamed of that. And I'm never going to water that down. But people have to, who you're dating and getting to know a person, that's going to tell you whether they're strong or weak. That's going to tell you if that's someone that you want to build and grow with. So if you're a guy who can't take a strong woman, yeah, then you need somebody weak that you can roll over and push over and, you know, treat any old kind of way. And if that's what you like, that's cool. That's what's for you.
Right.
But I know there are many men who appreciate and value strong African American or strong women, period. You don't even have to be
Right.
African American, just a strong
Just a
woman
strong woman
in general. Yeah, it's men that love strong women.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not to take advantage of them or any of that. They just like the strength of a woman. They just like that. Maxwell sung the song, you know, the strength of a woman. It's something to be said for a woman with strength. And I don't know too many men. I know a lot of boys that want weak stuff and stuff that they can just get over on and manipulate and be narcissistic. But I don't know very many men.
Right. Who really, and you know, like and the thing again, because I don't want anybody to misconstrue anything, because this is what we're talking about. Nick sparked our conversation, the live sparked it, but it has nothing.
Nick, I gotta talk to you.
Yeah, like no. Because honestly, Nick is old. To me, Nick is very old school. Like he's younger than us. I know he gotta be, but he is very the woman does this, the woman does that, the woman does,
and that's cool.
And that's cool.
My father is that. My father believed that a woman is to cook. She is to clean. When I come home, my house better be spotless. My floors better be mopped. My food better be ready. Hot, don't heat it up in the microwave.
Yeah,
it should be fresh.
I'm not her.
Fresh and hot when I get. My father was like that.
Yeah.
So I don't. And let me tell you something. That is a part of what Pressure Baby was about. See, I was raised like that. That's in me naturally. You don't gotta make me cook. You don't have to make me clean up. My daddy raised me that way
to do that.
But why should I do that for someone who does not appreciate, takes complete advantage? Baby, I cooked a hot meal every day, twice a day. Every day.
Absolutely.
Twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
Clothes, washed, folded, hung up. The stuff that go to the dry cleaner already. You ain't had to ask me nothing.
So what was it that he did to? I know you were raised
too much and not enough.
Time, but what was it that he did for
too
you?
Much, too much.
Too much.
Too
okay.
much. Too much and not enough.
Okay.
And thought that, you know.
Oh, well, here's Nick.
Hey, Nick.
I'm so glad to see you. Hold on, let me bring him in. Hold on.
Oh, God. Uh-oh.
Yo.
I'm hearing he is tired.
Baby, we done got Nick on the line, baby. Ooh.
What's up?
Nick,
What's
I
up?
wasn't talking about you now, Nick. Don't come up here.
Nah.
Look, I made it perfectly clear. I'm not
We
talking
did.
about Nick.
No. It's all love. No, what's going on, y'all?
It's only fair though, Nick. I'm glad. First of all, thank you for joining. I'm
Yes.
so glad that you did. And guys, make sure
I am.
what is it called? Stuck in Reality. If you get an opportunity, Nick, when does your live air every week?
Every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time.
I have to get on next week.
You have
to.
Just listen. Just be ready to comment, even if you don't want to, because Nick, go say something.
I'm gonna be quiet because Nick said he want us to be quiet, honey.
No,
man. Nah, 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 nah. It's not like that. I think for the most part, I think when I make posts, I do them to intrigue minds to see where everybody's head is, right?
And to get
And
people
then
thinking.
yeah, to get people thinking, and then I go live to expound on what I was thinking in the
Hmm.
process of making posts and getting everybody to come in and see where everybody is. And I think everybody kind of really took the 3 a.m. Would you get up in the morning and make a sandwich at 3 a.m. for your man when if he said he's hungry? I think everybody took it as if it was about the waking up and making and it was about the sandwich, right? But it really wasn't about the sandwich. It was really asking, are you willing to do what your man needs of you when
Hmm.
he needs it of you?
Or even what he wants. Because
Right.
that's not really a need. It's just that's what I want. And
That's
are
just
you
what he
willing to?
desires in that moment. So
Yeah.
since
Yeah.
you are
Right.
on here, let's talk about, because we touched base on, and I know this is not about that, but everything that we said, Melanie, it led to, because I was gonna bring it up the podcast regardless. I mean the live regardless, but everything we said kind of led to this. So Nick, we talked, and you made we mentioned, or we dialogued about why women feel like they have to be just strong black, I know I did not let you talk. I was honest, was I not, Melanie? I did say there
You
were
did
times
say that.
I should have just let him talk, but I didn't. I mean I did, but it took me a minute.
Yeah.
So if you will, because there was a gentleman who got on here and said just a minute ago, strong. This is what he said. He said strong is hard, and we don't view strong as hard, but I kind of feel like you do a little bit. If you would just kind of talk about that.
I think we're talking about two different type of strengths.
It
And it's
sounds like it. It
yeah,
sounds like.
it's
Uh-oh.
and where we go wrong is a lot of our ladies is kind of confusing when you say I'm strong and independent. But it's not that we don't want you to be strong. It's not strength in the way that you look at strength. So what I mean by that is I'm saying to the men that are in alignment with God and hierarchy, in alignment with order. I'm saying you don't have to be strong. We're not looking at the strength like you look at it. So basically, be be able to view men and see that he's a man that's able to take care of business. I think the problem is we view these men, we say, hey, I don't want a man like this, I don't want this, I don't want that. But when you get that type of man, you don't really know, you don't really recognize him. Because you've been saying what you don't want for so long, you've been accustomed to running into these type of men. But when you attract a man that can handle everything that men are supposed to protect, lead, guide, protect, secure, be the structure, be the vision, be the provision for the family, you have to recognize him, and you have to fall in order. Because if you do not fall in order, then what's going to happen is that strong independent is going to clash with my strong independent masculinity. And once that happens, it's going to be a clash, because what attracts us together is not symmetrical, it's asymmetrical.
So let me ask you this: if as a man, and who takes on that role as the cover and the head of house, whatever the case, whatever you want to call it, in the event that you see wrong. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about anything relationally. I'm talking about a decision or whatever. It could be relational, but let's just say there's a decision that needs to be made. He's put his foot down. It's like, no, this is what we're doing. That's it. That's all. But just like you pray, your woman pray, or just like you have discernment, you have discernment. I do too. So what happens based on what you just said? What happens when you foresee it coming, but you can't receive it because you're the decision maker, or you're because I feel like that's pride if that's the case, but I want to hear from you. What happens at that point?
Yeah, it's kind of like the analogy. Both of us have Kevin. Let's just put it like this. me and you, not hypothetically speaking, but just hypothetically speaking, me and you have a son, Nick Jr.
Mm-hmm.
I tell Nick Jr. to go left, tell him to go right. Both of our sons not going to do anything to tell my legacy and to harm my legacy. Which way do we go? Do we go your way? Or do we go my way?
Well, can I say something?
Yes, please.
Okay, first let me say that I agree 1000% with everything that Nick said previously prior to this question. Everything in totality, I agree with it. I was raised that way. I was raised to have a hierarchy. I was raised that the man is the head, even when he's wrong, and that's critical. I know that's hard.
You just dropped me off with that one.
Listen, no. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm saying that I was raised that way.
Gotcha.
I was raised that no matter what decision a God-fearing man makes, if he is being led by God and he makes a decision for his house, that you are to follow his lead. Now, I personally believe that if by faith I follow the leading of my husband, not my man, and this is also important, my husband, because the Bible don't tell me to just follow a man just because he's a man. No, sir, no, ma'am. But it does tell me to follow my husband. And if I follow my husband and he is wrong, I believe that because God loves me too, not just my husband, he will make the correction. See, one thing that women do, I agree with this. We want to insert ourselves in a position that we don't have to insert ourselves in because we have a God. Now we're talking about God stuff now. So if you're not godly, if you don't know the Lord, this is not the conversation for you. I'm not going to debate with nobody.
Right.
But I'm talking about God stuff. I'm talking about people who know God, who are following the precepts of the scripture.
Right.
Then we have to follow our husband. And if our husband is in error, God is going to correct that because he loves us enough and he values our union enough. And I've been in that situation, and God will resolve that.
Let me say this in what you're saying. It's not that I don't agree with what you're saying because I agree. I'm gonna say this. You better be careful who you marry.
Bam!
Be careful who you link yourself to, because if you can't trust that man on a dating stage, you can't trust him to have your back, to cover you, to make the decisions that a man is supposed to make. That's a big hat to wear, and
that's more of the problem.
It's not that we don't acknowledge the hat that you wear, but do you wear it?
Do you wear it?
You good with little Nick Jr. We good. All right.
Yeah. I think I agree. I like her answer because here's the thing. I think so many times we want to be. When I say we, when I hear women say I want to be led, you can't say you want to be led. You want to lead how you want to be led, and want him to lead how you want to be led.
Yeah,
that's not going to work because we're always going to lead different. Here's an analogy for you right there. You may have any one of y'all have brothers and sisters.
I have brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters, right? If you call your sister and ask her how to get around in a town that you've never been in, she's going to tell you go here, go here, go here, and you'll get there. Call your brother, he's going to tell you, well, you go here, but don't go down here because it's going to.
Right.
Both of the directions are going to get you to the same destination.
Right.
But that man is going to tell you a different direction or a different way to go than your sister did. Why? Because men navigate this earth way differently. We lead differently. We see things differently. We think logic first, and then we think, whatever else comes behind logic. So I think
some men.
Well,
yeah,
I can't cover all, but
But
you know,
I agree. But I
yeah.
agree with you. If it's the right man, what is important, in my opinion, what is important is first knowing. And most of our mistake is we don't know who we married. We don't know who we dealing with. We
we
don't know
just
what
happen to get
spirits are
married.
attached to them. We don't know what kind of history and past. We just jumping in because we want to hurry up and get somebody. And that is critical because I was with a man who professed to love the Lord, who was leading multiple churches, a jurisdiction of churches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but he was not leading properly. He was not loving properly. He was not following, the scripture the way that it is meant to be followed. And so that's my fault because I was the fool to sit in that, knowing that this man is not who God intends for me. That's my mistake.
That is the
You understand what I'm saying? We have to know who we're connecting to.
Right.
But if you connect with a man, a Nick, or the like, and he is on point, and then yeah, it's my pleasure to allow you to lead.
Because
Not even
at the end of the day,
it's
like
your duty to lead me, and I'm gonna fall back.
Like we were saying, or like I said on the on his live, like it's not that women are out here, and I can only speak for where we are at this point in time in life.
Some women, because there are women who are just,
you just happen to have a man, but at this point in time, like, we're in a different place because we're not old, but like, we're seasoned. We kind of know we don't have to pick and choose. I'm not going to follow a fool. I'm just not, but the prerequisite of that is I'm not going to date or marry one either. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to, those are things that you pick up in dating. You should, right. You know what I'm saying? At that point. So, not to change this, actually along the same line of what we're talking about, but just a little bit of a bunny trail. We talked about on the live, Nick, what are the things you told me a woman is supposed to do? And Nick, we're gonna let you go because I don't want to make this about the live, but it was
no. I'm good. I'm here. I got on to answer any questions. I got on to, talk, and dialogue. So I'm good.
A woman's role is to.
Well, what we look for a woman in first, I think that was the discussion that we had.
That's how you wrote it. Yeah. I
tell people, I said, first, men are visual first. We're physical first. Yeah. Once we get past the physical part, there is a certain rubric that all men, not absolute all men, but majority of men look for it, men in general. And men that you want are going to look for fit, feminine, friendly, respectful, cooperative, submissive. And that's all really men want. Now, education, career, all of that, we're not saying that's not important. We're just saying we don't look at that on the level of importance like women do, or as women think we should, because that comes under all of those tiers. Here's the difference. When I go to school and make $100,000 or more, I go to school with the premise of making $100,000, saying, what can I do? I made enough money to take care of my family.
Right.
Not today's modern lady says, not you all, not all, but in general, when they go to make $100,000 or more, today's modern woman says, I've made enough money not to depend on a man if I don't get one. And I think that's the difference. So when we look at things differently like that, that's our difference. We look at physical first. Once we get past the physical, that we're attracted to you, we want fit, fine, friendly, respectful, cooperative, submissive. Across the board.
So do you remember what adjective I told you that you did not mention that I had a problem with?
Yeah, you said you didn't hear me say collaborative.
Yeah, I never heard that. And it's like, and I know you may not think that, well, I don't know. I can't say if you think that's important or not, but like that is important. Keeping everything the same, keeping the hierarchy the same, or the structure and design. I think we all three agree on that. Yeah. However, that's key. Yeah. That is key. You don't have to, but you should go to your woman, your lady or your wife. Let's just talk about wife stuff. You should go to her.
Yeah.
And that is a collaboration that needs to be a part, because at the end of the day, what you don't want is me to feel like I'm a part of something that I ain't got shit to say about. Like I don't have no say so about it. I'm just really here looking like Celie on The Color Purple. We don't want to do that.
I think when you,
baby.
yeah, the reason why the reason why those are not in those in that key lineup that I named, is because I don't name things that are supposed to be understood you in like in English class.
I'm not gonna let you get away with that, because
whoa. Hold on. Let me explain.
To name the things you did, think enough of me to include me and name that too.
Reason why I didn't name it, I shouldn't have to tell you about we need to be able to communicate. I shouldn't have to tell you about that we need to be able to make sacrifices within each other. I shouldn't have to tell you they're going to have to be compromises. If we are grown adults, we know you're going to have to communicate. We know that you're going to have to compromise. We know that you're going to have to sacrifice. So why are we talking about the things that we should already know that we're going to have to do? That's like holding somebody's hand.
Well, run me that list.
Well,
run me that list one more time of what you said you expect.
We should know that we should automatically be friendly. We should automatically be fit for ourselves even before you. And there was another one that I think on both ends there are things that this is what I think women and men should do. We should become our best selves.
Oh, absolutely.
By that I mean I should already be kind. So that doesn't even need to be a bucket list item, because I should already be that. I should already be submissive if I'm a woman. See, I'm delicate until I can't be. I'm soft until I'm made to be otherwise.
And I think that's a lot of men, especially at this age.
There are women who are raised to, have the premise that you're setting, that I need to go make $100,000. I need to have 5 degrees. I'm not one of those women. I want my man to take care of me. Okay. I want to sit up and be pretty all day. That's the type of woman I am. But I would not dare discount or belittle a woman who thinks otherwise, who says, no, Melanie, I want to further my career. I'm ambitious enough to pursue another. I know a woman who has 7 degrees. I don't understand it. What does the 7th one do that the 3rd one couldn't do? Right. You're not making no more money. You're not, but that is her pursuit. Who am I to deter her from her pursuit? Now, if she chooses to forfeit having a husband because she is in pursuit of in educational academia, that's her choice. That's what she wants to do. Clearly, she's not going to be the woman for Nick, right?
Right. But, absolutely.
But it's okay. It's okay for her to be that.
So
she wants.
Can I take it further, a little deeper than even education? Because Nick and I talked about this. I'm big on purpose and destiny. I feel like we are wired. We come here not wired for Nick. We don't come here wired for Melanie. We don't come here for everybody, not just women, but in particular, like, that too is a thing that with the things that we say we want with people, with men, or things that the men say they want with women, or however, whatever. That for me is the key thing that I listen for in conversations like the one that Nick and I have had, and there was another gentleman on there too, that is never talked about, because it's like, my thing is, if you marry somebody who has a who is pre-wired, who came here to do media or to do entertainment, maybe that person deals your wife deals majority with men or whatever. That's something you got to be on board with before you ever decide that you gonna give this lady your last name. Reason being is you don't want to interfere with what God sent her here to do, and vice versa. You don't want, you know what I'm saying, in regard to a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. Like I do feel like, being married and having a companion and all that, I feel like that is a bonus. But I do feel like we were put here to procreate and all those things. Can't get away from that. It's in the word. You can't get away from that. However, I do feel like there is a kingdom to come, and in order for that to happen, people have to play. Well, don't have to, but should play the roles for whatever they were wired to do. And if you don't have somebody, God forbid you get married and figure out it ain't that somebody, but if you don't have somebody who understands and supports that, if Nick and I are married and Nick is, Nick is Nick, all right. And then it's like, hey, it's gonna be late. I gotta do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to expect Melanie for the leader to say, "Don't worry about it. I got it. I'll fold clothes. I'm not looking at you sideways like you didn't do it." Because guess what? I'm gonna do the exact same. I'm gonna try to make up in ways that I can if I can. To me, that's collaboration. It's not so much. It's not so much about It is, yes, it is communication, but it's understanding too that, like, yes, I respect your role. You respect my role. I respect your destiny and purpose. You respect mine. And some kind of way, we choose to make this shit work.
Yeah.
But I think that all still goes back to who you're choosing to build with. You have to make the right choice up front, because every man is not gonna. Some men, I can use me as an example in so many instances. My late husband was not gonna fold clothes. I don't give a damn how many hundred things I had to do. He didn't care if I had to take care of the children, bathe the children, help them do their homework. He was a vegan vegetarian. I had to cook 2 meals. Our food, because we weren't vegan, and his food. Okay. He didn't care about any of that. He paid every bill in our house, every luxury that I wanted, I had. He didn't care about the rest of it. I don't care how you get it done, but get it done. Because this is the life that you want. And the way that I'm able to provide you the life that you want is by doing this. I expect
you can Nick's language right now. I just want you know, he ran back like the deacon in the.
But what I'm saying, listen, Keeta, but I'm not saying that's right for everyone. I'm saying that I know who I married. I took the time to get to know who I was marrying, so I knew what came with that table. And if I wasn't going to accept that, I should have never married him. But once I married him, I married the man that's not folding no clothes.
Yep.
That's who I chose. That's who chose me. You understand? So that's in the beginning, and where we make a mistake as women, because there's a shortage of men, because the other half of our men are homosexual or something else, we're accepting something that we know ultimately we can't live with for the rest of our life. We're just accepting it just to have something.
For the
That's
sake
why I said
of having something. So how does that work with you now that you're in your career? You sing secular music or whatever. I don't like to box it in, but you sing. You're in entertainment as a woman, like myself, in the industry to one degree or the other. How does that work with your marriage?
Well, I'm not married now.
I thought you were. I'm sorry.
I'm in a new relationship, but my husband is deceased, so I am in a new relationship.
How's it working with this? With everything?
It is a lot of learning. He is not in the industry, have no desire to be in the industry, but he is very committed to allowing me, because I asked him, if we are to be married, are you okay with me being an entertainer?
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at Squirt because
who is Squirt? He's on. I can't see any of the comments. But I asked him, are you okay?
Right.
Because if he is not okay with me doing what I'm doing, where I am right now, I got a decision to make.
Yes,
right?
There you go.
Because I'm not going to marry somebody who I'm not in alignment with. I'm not going to do that. I know enough. I've been around long enough to know not to do that. And I'm not desperate for a husband. If it's not him, it's somebody. I know I'm super fine. You know, in my age and everything, I know what I'm working with.
Right on.
It's okay. We'll be friends. You know.
Yeah. I think that's been the whole issue, is because that's what I tell ladies though. I tell ladies, certain type of women that I do not even try to even go around.
That's
Not
right.
saying that I can't attract them. In my line of career, I see all different
Kinds
types,
of women.
size
Mm-hmm.
of. Trust me, they coming.
Mm-hmm.
But I do not entertain any of those type. Why? I know what comes with the package. I
Right.
know that when I get in this deal with you, I'm gonna have to dance with the devil. I ain't
Mm-hmm.
trying to do that.
Yeah.
I tell women, do not. I say it's it's like I think because we see some people that know a couple of people that make it work, that it's the majority.
Yeah.
I know some people that make $400,000 a year, but they faithful and they take care. They ain't never cheated and woo. Look, I tell women, look, there is a price to pay. When you go up in those tiers of $200,000, $300,000 a man that makes that type of year, you are going to deal with he's going to exercise those options. And those options 9 times out of 10 are going to be other women. Do not look for a man to be young, rich, attractive, monogamous, and muscular, fine, got all everything else, and just fairy tale-ish. Not saying that it's not a possibility. That's not saying that it's not a possibility, but it's not probable.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I agree. I think it can happen. I think you can have a mate that, you know, is wealthy, you know, well off, or just, you know, a good provider, and they can be faithful. You know, I hope that mine is, but I'm not a fool. My daddy raised me, you know, but by no stretch am I foolish enough to think that, you know, you don't have other options or there aren't other women, and especially in our industry. Like my ex was a pastor, was a leader. Women, yeah. I mean, I done seen all kind of naked pictures of people trying to pursue him.
That power is attracting. It's attractive, right?
Absolutely.
It's attractive.
Absolutely. And you gotta know that that's what you sign up for when you sign up for that. Mm-hmm. And that's why this time what I decided was I'm going in a completely opposite direction. My man don't even like music.
Yeah.
You know, but that's a good thing, because when you guys do,
he don't want to be bothered.
You don't have to
go to work.
Music.
Right. He make his bread, come home, he want a hot meal, he wants some red beans and rice, some white beans and turkey neck, and he going to bed. He like to gamble a little bit, and that's it. That's his lifestyle. That I chose something totally opposite.
But it works for you. And
it works beautifully. It's perfect.
And you've been down the road that you don't want to travel down again. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, that's why I'll say seasoned, not to say old, but you just know what you gonna do, you know what you don't want to do or can't do.
Right.
I'm the type of person, thank goodness, like I have the liberty. I have people in my life, or I'd say I have a person in my life who can understand where I am and what I plan, the direction that I plan to go. I can say that about my son. Like he gets it. He gets it. So for me, it's sad to say, and I know Nick is probably gonna cringe when I do say it or whatever. I cannot. I'm gonna respect anybody who's respectful to me, but I have to distance myself, I guess, respectfully, if you don't understand and agree, because I'm not gonna stop. I'm not. So anybody who is wanting to deal with somebody like me, you gotta really know that this is really what you gotta really love me. You gotta really know that this is what you want to do and deal with. Because don't get me wrong, I ain't cooking no hot meals every day, Melanie, but I would if I could. My day ain't set up like that. I can't. Right. But I will DoorDash and shit.
But do you know, Keeta, that there is a man that's specifically for you? There's a man that is not looking for a hot meal every day.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That comes with the getting to know. Every man is not like that. Some men only like fast food. They don't even like hot meals. They just want to
kindergarten. Just kindergarten.
Yeah. Right. So it's someone that's for Keeta.
Yeah,
That's
and I think
Keeta's lifestyle. For Keeta's, it's somebody it's someone who's perfect for that, what the kind of lifestyle that you have. It's a certain woman that's specific for the type of woman that Nick desires. God is going to give us the desires of our hearts.
yeah,
What you want, you're going to find. You just gotta when
Well,
he's
let me just say, I'm not looking.
that's
Yeah.
fine. You're not supposed to look. You don't supposed to. They supposed to
I
come
ain't
find
looking.
you.
Exactly. Yeah,
You don't gotta look. You
Yeah.
just keep being you, being beautiful. Keeping yourself together. All the little F's that Nick called out, the friendly, fit, fly, flashy.
I'm so glad you caught
But
that.
baby, just be that. He's coming. He's gonna. It's somebody that's handpicked just for you.
Yeah, I think most times people think that, you know what I'm saying, every man wants you to cook and all of that. I think I'm not even a man that wants you to cook every day. I just want to eat.
Nah.
So if you go down the street and find some
Like
soul food that's got spaghetti and rice and cool. I don't care how you get it. I just want to
Right.
eat. You know what I'm saying? And I
Right.
think for what you said, you got to understand that I'm one of those type of people is you got to know what you getting yourself into before you get into it. Now, I do not believe that there is somebody for everybody. And here's the reason why. There are 2 million more of you guys than it is of us. Even if I match every man up with a woman, 2 million gonna be without. So
Right.
what I tell women is that I don't believe in he just gonna find you. You still got some work to do. You got to go put yourself in the places to be found by the men that you want to attract. Because you sit in the house, I ain't gonna bring no man talking about some here come Rapunzel. Let down your hair.
You
Rapunzel,
gotta
I'm here.
definitely put yourself in the room. You have to do that.
You have to be assertive in dating, especially today. Like
now, I was with you till you. Okay, so I do feel like you put yourself in a position. What? Not trying to, because I'm from the school of I don't force nothing. I believe the universe, whatever's supposed to be, go be, even if we don't like it or whatever. It's gonna work out exactly how it's supposed to. So I'm not. We had this conversation too, Nick, with your friend, the friend who was on there. Like I'm not go. I don't go to the bar. It was misconstrued, I think, a little bit on his part, not you, but him. When I said I don't expect to go and see somebody. I'm not gonna go talk to. First of all, I'm just not. That's just not what I'm supposed to be doing. But like, I'm not gonna go see a guy at the bar and go talk to him. No. I'm not gonna do that. Now, if somebody comes and let's say I'll be friendly or whatever, not go, in engage or whatever to the degree that I'm trying to be with them or whatever the case may be. However, I am old school, I guess, enough to say I don't feel that a woman should have to do it. You just go and have fun. You don't go to the bar to pick up men. You shouldn't like go to have fun. Like, and what happens
but why would you not engage if let's say you went to the bar and there was a man who said, "Oh, she's attractive. I'm gonna go
in a single state," and it was somebody I'm attracted to. Again, not gonna force it, but go with the flow. I'm not saying go with the
you
flow.
would go with the flow. You wouldn't like reject him though.
No.
Okay,
It wasn't like no Corbin or nothing like that. I'm saying like if you are in a single state or maybe you're trying to figure it out.
You're saying you're not gonna pursue a man.
No, and I'm not just saying that for me. I'm saying I don't feel like that's the role we play.
We don't. I don't. No, I'm not pursuing a man.
So this is what I mean by that.
Yeah, like
I think.
Go ahead. I'm not gonna cut you off.
No. I it's your show, so I was trying to make sure I wasn't cutting you off. But yeah, I think what's being misconstrued there is the time that we're living in versus back then. Okay, so now we're playing a different ball game. We're still playing chess, but it's played a little bit differently now. And the reason why I say that is because now we're not living in an era where women are raised to be what they were raised to be back then. Like coming up, you get married early. Now women are, it's more like pursue the career first, and then after you pursue the career, now we're talking about engaging in, seeing men and getting married later on, if possible. So now you're not playing the young 19, 20, 21 game with men. Now you pursued your career most times, and women are saying they can't find they can't find a husband, or a husband have not came and found them. And what I'm saying is now, when you have not been able to find, or someone hasn't been able to find you in that time period, now you're 30s, high up 30s. Now things are starting to get, you got to put things in the high gear. So I'm saying be a little bit more assertive than you would be when you were younger, because I ain't saying I'm not saying shoot your shotgun shot. I'm saying shoot your 22. And what I mean by that is sometimes you may have to, like I told her earlier, go, you see somebody that you're attracted to, and he by himself over there, he may not notice you. So you see him, and you go by there, you on purpose, you drop your napkin beside him or your handkerchief. And he say, hey man, you know what I'm saying? You drop your napkin. Now y'all smiling in each other's face. What's going on? Hey, I'm just saying, man, be assertive, man.
I feel where he is. I have to say it. See, I was raised by a man. I'm telling you, the way I think is so different than a lot of women think. I'm in agreement with that. But however, let me say this. I am not in agreement. 1000% not in agreement with a woman pursuing a man. I will never chase a nigga down. I'm not gonna do it. Now let me tell you something. I met my man in the bar. That's why I asked you, would you entertain someone in the bar? I have never dated a man out of a bar. But I told you I went a completely different route.
I met
Reggie. My man is younger than me. Like 5+ years younger than me. Okay.
That's not bad.
I went to the bar with my girlfriends, just having a good time, not looking for nothing. I mean, literally not looking for anything. Wasn't even thinking about dating. And some kind of way, I accidentally bumped him, Nick.
Just happened to.
I just happened to bump him. Not on purpose, just a little bump. And he looked back and said,
that's flirty, and there's nothing wrong with it.
But it was so innocent. I'm telling you, it was not. I promise to God, it wasn't. You would think
you didn't force
a napkin drop or something like that, but it wasn't.
Did you hear that?
He turned around. I said, excuse me, I didn't mean to bump you. And we locked eyes. It was like something out of the movies, no exaggeration. But that's how we met. He asked me for my phone number. I gave him my phone number, which I never do. But I did it, and I promise to God. That's why I asked that question. Would you talk to someone in a bar? Because that's literally how we met.
I know you said you can't see the comments or whatever, and I hate that. I don't know why you can't, but
I can see them.
Okay, well,
let me see if I can see.
I was saying that
I'm curious.
I literally, like Reggie King, we went to college together, and he walked outside of his apartment. I was standing in the circle, like I was passing the blunt. Like, now don't judge me, because that's been 100 years ago.
Yeah.
But so, can you meet somebody at the bar? Yes. And Tiffany, because you didn't have to point that out. I didn't think anybody even caught that, but you did. So it is what it is. But to answer your question, I get it. But you just met him. You didn't go up there like, girl, watch this. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna convene.
We gonna have to loosen Keeta up a little bit. That's
man. I'm
about to
hey, look.
Don't loosen me up.
You gotta understand something, man. That it's like keep doing things in the same way and expect different results. That's the definition of insanity.
I don't expect it. That's what I'm trying. I don't expect anything.
But I'm saying, I ain't saying that you sitting here saying I'm just so desperate. We're not talking about being desperate. We're talking about we're talking about having someone that you are going to. There you go. You're gonna spend the rest. You want somebody. We ain't saying that you're desperate, but you do want to spend your life with someone. So
who is open-minded and not just and at the end of the day, I never said that I wasn't. Okay. But what I will say is this.
I'm taking Keeta out.
Mouthful. I need somebody who's going to understand me. And I am like a lot like I can agree with everything, pretty much everything Melanie has said, because I don't want to come in the house and have to be a boss and have to be like, okay, so how we're gonna figure this out? No, you do it. You do it. Let me boss out here. Let me do me. Let me boss out here. But like, no, you do it. And it's not so much of me being like hard or nothing like I'm not again, let me be perfectly clear. I'm not looking for anything. Like I'm good.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
just want to say that like for me, I see the women who are out there who was completely recluse and suppressed everything that they loved, past tense, at a point in time, everything they felt called to do, everything they were passionate about, because they met a guy, they dropped their napkin, Nick, and they ended up meeting a guy, and which wasn't for them, and they were dated or whatever the case may be, but they were so happy to have that cover and that person to where it was like, oh, I could put my stuff on the back burner. That is not okay with me. That is not okay with me. I can never do that. I can never do that.
But when you meet the right one, you won't have to put yourself on the back burner.
Right.
Yeah, and the thing about it, and the thing about it is, we're all gonna bump into some people that do not align with what we look for.
Absolutely.
And it's our job to not waste time with those people.
That's right.
I tell women all the time, don't blame men when you stayed. When you stuck around for the BS.
Come on.
He lied to you one time. You stuck around. He lied to you again.
I just said that.
He lied to you again. And he gonna change. You ain't changing no man. Let's get that through our head right now. You ain't changing no man. A man is going to change when he is truly ready to change.
Right.
So get that out your head. That Buddha ain't gonna change him. That box that you got ain't gonna change him. That oil that you give him ain't gonna change him. None of that. So get it out your head. None of that.
None of it. You right.
No, but that's very true, and so one of the disappointing things for me, especially Mel, and I keep on making us the same age. We just gonna be the same age.
We close, baby. I'm all right with it. So
one of the things,
I'm with y'all.
One of the irritates me is I and we're gonna move on because I want you to stay on here, Nick, for plead the fifth, because I gotta get her on plead the fifth, but one of the things that irritates me as a woman, because I know who has my back. I know who is in my corner. I got that. Can I ever let that stop me from doing anything that I'm called and supposed to do? No. What irritates me at this point in time and age, we've had kids. Some of us have been married and divorced, maybe married a second time or whatever. This ain't no new Ferris wheel or rodeo for us. We at this point in time, just like you said, sis, if for whatever reason the guy that you're with now, who he's loving on you, you loving on him, if for whatever reason you felt like it wasn't your lifestyle wasn't conducive to him, you would have to make some decisions, and friendship may be it. There are probably more women our age who are not making those decisions. And it's such an irritating thing for me, because I'm like, how are you not, like, how are you at peace? It's not about being just a strong Black female or being that woman you can't tell nothing to. No, it's not that. It's that at this age, we don't have time for silly shit.
Right.
We don't have time to try to build a man, build a bear. Don't take on no projects. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't do that. And you really and truly at this point, it's hard to deal with insecurity. I can coddle you only so much.
Well, I said this to a young girl she called me 2 nights ago, and she said she wanted to talk to me because I give out a lot of advice. I should start up my own little hotline for advice. But what I told her is, the older or the more mature that we get, we let go of a lot of things. Now, I've never been, I've always had very high self-esteem. My dad was, very into making me feel, loved and just valued. He showered me with everything. So I've always thought, not conceited, not thinking I'm better, but I just always thought very highly of myself. And he always taught me not to depend on a man to fulfill that. You
have to have a confident man. You have
Yeah. And so I've never, I just don't chase men down. And I'm not saying when I say that, I'm saying this in the most humble way. I'm just not chasing a nigga down. You either want me, I'm talking about even when I was married. You want me or you don't. You in love or you're not. I'm sexy to you or I'm not. If my husband was to step out, he just stepped out. I don't take that personally. I don't feel like it's something wrong with me. I'm not about to start looking down on myself. None of that. Even when I gained weight, my self-esteem was still on 20. Because you're going to take all this big, good loving. I just didn't, that's just the type of woman that I am. I understand that all women are not that way. Some women don't have a lot of self-esteem. Some women didn't have someone to teach them about self-love and to really, know who they are and be confident. And so that's where you get insecurity and a woman feeling like you never gonna stop a man from doing what they want to do. I don't care if you call him a million times a day.
Regardless, it's
the 10 seconds that you wasn't on the phone with him, that's a long enough time for him to get his dick in some pussy and bust a nut. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
You're not going to stop that.
No, you can be beautiful. You can be at the top of your game, Beyonce.
And listen, Beyonce got
if that is what he chooses.
Halle Berry got cheated on.
So look,
it doesn't matter how perfect you are.
Yeah.
If he wants to do that, he's going to do that. You just love you. You be your best you.
Melanie, what I want you to understand while Nick is on here, and if I misspeak, Nick, I trust that you'll correct me. But with you having such that's how you're supposed to be. And I haven't always had that. So the fact that you grew up like that, kudos to you and your dad who raised you that. I haven't always had that. So when you are that person, when you encounter somebody, if they are not strong, most men can't deal with somebody like you.
Right.
Most men couldn't deal with somebody like me without hurting on the inside or either being, gaslighting or being a narcissist on the outside. What the hell do you choose?
Yeah. So what you want is, I made a post today. It's crazy that we're talking today.
I have got to go follow Nick. I can't believe I'm not following you.
Go follow me.
This is so juicy.
I made
Teresa, thank you for being on the podcast. T, that's my cousin right there. Okay, all right. I'm listening. Go ahead.
I made a post. I said, ladies, we were talking about. I said, you need to get you a man. A man will never. He will always tell you the truth. Time, 100% of the time, a man of value will. A man will only lie to you. He's afraid of losing you. Get you a man that will tell you no. Sometimes the yes is too expensive. So let me break down that post. So I don't lie to my woman. Ask me a question. You better be damn real ready for that.
Better be ready for the answer.
Because a man of value understands that it's not fair to paint an imaginary world that does not exist, and that's what a lie is. It's unfair. It's not cool. It does not exude trust, nor does it exude commitment. So
I like that, Nick.
Yeah, so I don't lie.
I'm very honest with not just with myself, but honest with others too, and specifically. Like where I am, and like I have to be honest, because if I'm not, and it ain't that I would be cheating him. I'm really kind of
you hurting yourself, right?
Yeah, I'm cheating myself.
And not only that, but a step further, you also don't go looking. Daddy told me if you go looking for it, baby, you're gonna find it. Yep. Don't look for nothing. Don't go through no phone. Don't go through their mail. Don't go through the glove box in the car when they go pump the gas. Don't look for anything because you will find it. I don't look. I don't look for nothing. Baby, as far as I'm concerned, my man is the most trustworthy, committed, one woman kind of man that I could have. And I'm not looking for I just believe that until I see something different. I'm not looking for nothing else.
I wouldn't want to entertain anybody that I got to do that with.
No, for what? If I'm already looking, I already know you ain't the one for me because I'm
right. If I even get that inkling, it's just like, okay.
Yeah, I like that. I agree with that. So Nick, are you married?
I'm I'm divorced, and I'm in a serious relationship right now, but I'm not married.
You're in a serious relationship. Okay.
Yeah.
So did you choose your mate based on your look at me being the host, but then I just
No,
I'm just
girl,
curious.
no,
Did
you
you
fine.
choose her based on the premises that you know on the guidelines that you've expressed on the podcast?
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
and she is okay with you found her to be in, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
in agreement with okay, good. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I made sure because I also taught a live stream. I did a live stream on telling women and men how to vet each other properly. What questions you should ask. What you should look for.
Vetting. Yeah.
And here's the thing. I make sure I align myself and entertain women that have what I'm looking for and are in alignment first with God, then everything else following.
So would
Because
you say you date to marry, or you like? Is
I
that
always date with intention. I think,
okay?
look, what are we doing? What are we doing? I
What are
ask
we
ladies,
doing?
look, I ask ladies, I said, why are you 4 and 5 year relationships without marriage? We know whether we want to marry you 6 months to a year in. Why
Sure
are you
do.
going? Why are you sitting here staying for 4 and 5 and 6 and 10 years in a relationship talking about we still boyfriend and girlfriend? No, you're setting yourself up. You're
That's
setting
right.
yourself up. And then after that fails, you then come back to the sexual marketplace and you say, men ain't this, men ain't that, men ain't that. When the whole time you
Not the
bit the
sexual
rotten apple painted red.
You're right.
That's what this
That's
is. This
very
is a
true.
sexual marketplace.
Yeah.
Oh, Nick, that tickled me. Okay, the
That's what it
sexual
is.
marketplace. I know I couldn't have said it better. That was perfect. It
That's
was just
real.
funny
That's
because
real.
I never had heard it wordsmith that way. But that was that is funny to me. No, I get it because you know, especially, and I keep saying it over and over again. But like, I understand in your like, you do things at a certain point in time in your life early on that are just fun. You're experimenting. You're having a good time. You're in college or you're not in college, or whatever the case may be. Um, I told my daughter I didn't tell her to date to marry. I didn't because I wanted her to live. And what I didn't want her to do, I had my daughter in college. So what I didn't want her to do was have this life that was solely based on this not social but relational experience that was solely based on being in a committed relationship. No, live your life. Know what you like emotionally. Know what you're looking for sexually. That's important too. We can pretend that it ain't, but it is. Know what you're looking for in regard to if you go to a social setting and you know you're now you graduated. My baby graduated SFA with me. Well, not with me, but the same my alma mater. Now that you have a degree and you're an educated Black woman in the city, know what it is that you're looking for. Don't take on no projects like. So I never trained my daughter, and I'm gonna get back to plead the fifth, but I didn't train her. She's still in her 20s to date to marry or date for companionship because you gonna know. I feel like you will know. Now, as she progresses on, she knows what I don't want, what I've experienced that I liked, but I couldn't deal with this. She's gonna at least have a better understanding than most because she's well, she should because she's experimented that. So with that said, with us and at our age, I don't see the point in going on no date, Nick, or entertaining somebody, giving somebody the someone being privy to your space, whether it's in your apartment or whatever, or house or whatever the case may be, if you don't see a future with them. I don't. I feel like it should
Absolutely.
end at the dinner table. You gonna know. You should. It's gonna end at the bar.
Yeah, you're gonna
Yeah.
know. You're
You
gonna
should
know.
at this
Yeah.
age. No.
Here's what I say. I'll tell you. I think we'll have two different intakes on it. And I'll tell my daughter to date to marry early. Here's why. I think women should be around the age of 21 to 25, and men should be the age of 32 to 35.
Here you go with these
marrying.
damn numbers, Nick. Like,
This is my this
here
is
you
this
go
is
with
my this
these
is not
numbers.
fact. This is not fact. Hold
You
on, wait,
try to,
Keita.
okay,
Keita, you gotta
okay,
let me finish. You gotta let me
okay.
finish. This is not fact. This is my opinion. This is not fact. This is
Okay.
not. I'm gonna say it again one more time. It's not fact. I think here's the reason why. Most men don't hit their financial stride until 44, 45 to 55. If you're dating a woman, is dating a man, and this is not absolute, this is just my opinion. If you're dating a man at your age, how can he lead you and guide the family if he's going through the same phases of life that you're going through? How is that going to be possible? Because he's not going to know how. He's going to be navigating and feeling his way through just like you're feeling your way through. So I say go older because older men have been through those bumps in the road. We know that get over in the left lane on this one because it's a big old pothole right here. We're gonna go up the hill a little bit fast because we can navigate you better because he's been through that phase of life and you're coming up through the phase of life. So that's why I say I think most women look for these young, rich guys and don't even know when men even hit their financial stride. You're wanting so much in one package and don't even know what type of package to look for. That's what I'm saying.
I agree with the
You're
looking
more
for package.
multifaceted than that. Nick, what is your Nick? You have a lot of Geminis around you. What is your sign? I
I'm a
forget.
Scorpio.
Scorpio. Okay, all right. So that makes sense. Not in no bad way. I wasn't throwing shade or whatever. But
Yeah.
no, like I don't know. I guess I'm just a little more easy breezy than that, and I just feel like what is supposed to happen will happen regardless of the financial part for me is what gets me. Like the financial
Because
part.
I know a lot of old broke men, so I just can't agree with that. And I know
Yeah.
I know a
Yeah.
lot of
But
old
we ain't talking about
clowns
we're
too.
not talking about the men that you don't want. We're talking about the men that you
Oh, the men that
admire,
you
respect, that you
actually
want.
want. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And
Okay.
here's the thing:
Yeah, we
reason
gotta be
why I
clear
said
on
marriage,
that because
and
we
reason
can't have
why I
these
do
ladies going looking for no old men and they just a bunch of clowns. There's a lot of
absolutely,
old clowns
absolutely.
out here.
And the reason why I do say that is let's go back to let's go medically, right? Talk about pair bonding with women is totally different than men. You don't want to be out here unable to actually pair bond. And I think a
I don't
lot
even
of
know
our
what that means. What is that? What is that? What does that mean?
un-
I agree with that.
unable to really know what you really want because you've had so much of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing. That's the difference between now and back then. I used to think it was so bad. I used to think it was so controlling that men used to have to hand their daughters off and they used to have to do the vetting for their daughters. But I then grew up and understood that those fathers understood that those women didn't really know what they needed. They knew what they wanted. They didn't know what they needed. So that's the reason why they did it, is because she didn't have the premise of knowing that his dick was better than his dick. So now she done got his dick. She's saying, yours ain't really better than his. So she having sex with him and thinking about him. That's where pair bonding comes in. Because as a woman, you release more oxytocin than I do when we're making love. That's the love drug. So you release more of that than I do. So
But you
therefore,
can still do that after early 20s. So I think the point
you
is,
yeah, you
yeah,
can, but
she
it's
can
like
live her life. She can be young. She can go through school. She can have her fun and still have enough time to. I mean, even at 40 plus, what I believe is that there is a man. If you desire to have a husband or a mate, you're gonna have one. Period.
yeah, and it's
You
not saying
decide.
absolute.
Yeah, you decide what you want, what your deal breakers are, what you're willing to accept, and we all are going to accept something. Let's be
Yeah.
realistic.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
something that we all gonna
Yeah.
bend a little bit on. I know what my deal breakers are. The person that I'm dating now, he's not perfect and I'm not perfect either. And we both
Yeah.
understand that. And we walked into this. I walked into it saying, listen, if this doesn't work, we're not going to have bad blood. We're not going to be angry with each other. We're not going to hate each other. We had a good time. we had a season of love and just traveling, enjoying each other. And it is what it is. We can be friends after and we can move forward. I'm okay with that. Right. But you have to have a certain optimism walking in the door. And I agree with you at our age, and I agree with Nick. We're not in an era where, we have a whole lot of time. So I'm not about to bullshit myself, and I'm not about to bullshit you. You're going to know who I am, what I come with, and I want to know that from you. And then we either decide that we're going to make it work or not.
That part, I definitely agree with that. I do. What I don't agree with is checking your biological clock and looking like, okay, I only got
2 I'm in my prime.
Because your best 10 years, best 5 years could be at the very absolute end.
For sure.
And you can have complete turmoil and no peace at all for all of your 20s, 30s, 40s. You know what I'm saying? But I do agree, like, ain't no point in us wasting no time with each other. Like, let's just, if that's the case. All right, so y'all, I gotta say, to Stacy, Purple Passion, faithful listener when I was in TK. Thank you for joining in. She's in the room. Also, my mama's here. Hey, mama.
Hi,
Mama was on the live the other night too.
What's going on?
See anybody? We saw Squirt. Oh, Shawana Flowers out of Tyler, Texas. Chicken Wang, shout out to you. I know she loves y'all because she's posted y'all before.
Hi, Shawana.
Gino Pringle.
Hey, Gino.
Is Gino? Thank you, Gino. Pringle. Do you know him?
Not personally, but I know him from social media.
Okay, well, he's here and he's agreed with you, Nick. He's agreed with Melanie. Let's go to, thank you all for joining, been on the podcast. If I missed anybody, my cousin Raven. Hey, Raven.
Hi,
Raven. Thank you for letting me know you were here. I'm glad to see you. Thank you. All right, so let's go to Plead the Fifth, because this is really taking on a life of its own. And I love that because it's just candid and it's raw and uncut. All right. So, Nick, you gonna stay on here. Don't you go nowhere. All right. Here's how this works, Melanie. So I'll give you 5 questions at any given point in time. Of course, you don't want to answer, you can plead the fifth. All right.
Okay.
And then I'll leave you alone. All right. So the first question is, so when you grew up in the Kojic church, well, I know you sang in the Kojic church or whatever. Did you have to wear dresses all the time?
In my youth, yes.
Okay.
When I was old enough to make my own decisions, or when I just decided to be rebellious, no. But we grew up wearing stockings, skirts below our knees, no halter tops, no belly tops, no makeup, no hair dye, no hair cutting, no waxing. That's how we grew up. But I rebelled heavily. When I turned 19, I didn't give a fuck. I did everything I wanted to do. I didn't care what my father said. My father pulled a shotgun out on my boyfriend. I didn't care about that. We was, I'm living. So I definitely rebelled. And I also paid for rebelling. So, at my age now, I understand a lot of the things that I was taught in church, and I understood why those things were important. And a lot of those things were really just to teach us discipline. And it curved a lot of what I would have experienced. If I had done things my own way, I would have been much faster. I would have been having sex probably much earlier. I wasn't having sex in high school, because of my upbringing. And I'm grateful for that, because I'm not used up. I'm not worn out. Right. And I'm not judging anyone who, I'm just saying, for me, I would have been a mess if I had been doing things my own way, because I'm very free in general. You get what I'm saying? Like my
understand. Yeah.
So I live on the edge. And if I didn't have that structure and that discipline at that time, I probably wouldn't even be sitting here with y'all right now on this podcast.
Right. No, I get it. Trust me. From one former rebel to another.
Keeta, we know you was a rebel.
But shut up,
Especially in college. I went to Southern University, baby. We didn't play no games. Okay,
You
we was
really-
turned
Yeah,
Monday
I know about
to
that.
Sunday.
I know about that Kojic lifestyle.
Ah,
I come from Kojic. It was a time in
Oh
where
yeah, so
yeah,
you
where
know.
it wasn't no pants and none of that. Oh no,
And
it wasn't going.
no,
Yeah,
and like I was telling her earlier, we could do whatever in the church, the adults, it was people doing all type of stuff. But it better not happen outside, and nobody outside in four walls better not know about it. But I mean, it was, you know, church, period. There's a lot of things in the church that are also not right. But for me, that kept me grounded. That kept me, you know, under subjection. And me personally, I needed that. So I'm grateful for it.
I will say this, and I'll move on. I didn't grow up Kojic. I grew up Church of the Living God, which is like first cousins to Baptist. We couldn't wear dress like to choir practice and stuff like that. We couldn't wear pants or whatever. We had to drink grape juice. No, we could not drink grape juice. Like it was so many ways that the Bible was interpreted. But I grew up in the church. Now, as much as I got away from the traditional religion, that foundation, it didn't move.
Never leaves. No,
it never left. On any given day, and I'm not a Bible beater, and I know I look how I look, you know, tatted and all that. But any given day, if it's a situation, I got a scripture for it, and I ain't got to go look it up.
That's right.
It's in my heart.
It's in you. Yeah,
that's
for
how I was
sure.
raised.
Yeah.
That's just how, you know, how I was raised or whatever. That foundation is key. Okay, so we're gonna move on. All right, so I don't want to go there yet. All right, so you and I, Melanie, we're on a road trip. All right, on a road trip. And you can play whatever you want to play. You can play the most ratchet of the ratchet. What are we listening to on our road trip?
Okay, on the road trip, we're gonna listen to a little bit of Biggie.
Baby.
A little Nas.
Okay.
We're gonna listen to a little bit of Mobb Deep because I'm a hip hop head. We're gonna go from Mobb Deep to maybe Busta Rhymes, but probably Leaders of the New School when Busta Rhymes is over there, not his new stuff. Then I'll probably flip over to R&B. We're gonna listen to some Faith. We're gonna sing all Kelly Price songs. We're gonna definitely do a Mary J. Blige concert. Then we going live. We're gonna do some Will Downing. We're gonna do some Rochelle Farrell. We're gonna do Maxwell. We definitely gonna sing what is it, Natural Woman? My favorite song. Then probably 4 or 5 hours into the trip, then we'll go into some Southern Soul. So I'm gonna do a little bit of Tucker. I'm gonna definitely do a little bit of King George. Definitely gonna do Calvin Richardson whole album, probably 1, 2, 3. We gotta throw some PCB in there. I might throw in a Pull Me Up some more. I'm gonna throw in some young guys.
Gotta throw in some young guys. Some big male.
I'm gonna do a little bit of Latrell. I'm gonna do maybe Nelly Travis, Lisa. We gonna love life with Miss Lisa. Where else am I going? I might do some Jeter Jones if we hit a country road somewhere. We're gonna do some Melani from My Soul, of course. I gotta sing my own stuff. And then I'll probably go to some gospel. I'm gonna do some Zaccardi. I'm gonna do a little bit of John P. Key. We're gonna definitely sing Thank You, Lord.
So we're gonna balance this thing out.
We're gonna balance it out because I love music. We're gonna go through every genre and we're gonna sing every song. We're gonna have a sing-along, a full-blown concert in the car.
Well, I'll bring the country playlist because I love music. And then I also bring the Houston playlist because you gotta have your Big Mo's, your Fat Pats, you know.
Come on.
You gotta have that. So we're gonna have a good road trip.
Okay, good. I'm with it.
I'm with it too. Okay, so here we are. So one must go. All right, since we're talking about music. Nelly Tiger Travis, Lacey, Westlove.
No.
I know, right? Lisa. And of course, I can't include you, but well, you're not gonna pick you, but I included you as well. But one of those must go.
One of them must go.
Nelly,
holy shit.
Auntie Nelly.
Do people answer this question?
You can plead the fifth.
I know, but do people typically answer? Because I don't want to be the cornball.
No. Like, no, it just depends because
Nick, did you answer this
men.
question?
I don't think I was asked this question.
Oh.
No, yes,
Okay,
you were.
tell me the people again. Nelly Travis.
They did it as a group, and I asked them who must go, and I named off some bands. The Ohio players, that was who y'all said, oh, they gotta go. They gotta go. What they said.
Y'all didn't do the Ohio players.
That's what I said too. But I named some bands, and they ended up in consensus and said no, the Ohio players must go. But here we are.
Okay, and I'm not gonna be a punk. I'm gonna answer. Okay, so we got Nelly Travis.
We got Nelly.
Lacey.
We got Lacey. We got Westlove. And I honestly meant to put Miss Lady Blues, but I don't have it on there, so I'm not going to include her. And then we have Lisa and we have you.
Okay, Lisa. I love Lisa's song Now I'm Loving Life, so she gotta stay. I'm definitely not going on motherfucking weird, so I'm in. So now I got Nelly. Damn, Nelly, West,
and Lacey.
Or Lacey. God. Nelly, West, or Lacey.
You can always plead the fifth.
I'm not pleading the fifth.
Don't chicken out.
I'm gonna go. Oh Lord, y'all, don't kill me. I'm gonna go with West. And the only reason I'm gonna say West is because Nelly and Lacey have tenure.
Yeah.
And I respect I respect the vets.
That's dope.
So
that's dope.
But I love Westlove now. I love Westlove.
That makes sense. I
would have threw me under the bus before Westlove, but I'm not never gonna throw myself under the bus. So
I'm
sorry, Wes. I love you, girl.
So okay, so here's the what is that? 1, 2, this is the third one? All right. So both considered acts of endearment. Would you rather your man walk out the door and leave for the day, give you a kiss on the forehead, or slap you on the ass?
Go that way. I'm definitely a slap me on the ass.
You have a kid in there? I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm a slap me on the ass kind of girl, but I love a good kiss on the forehead. I just feel like the kiss on the forehead has become so cliche. Like before it was a thing, it was the sweetest gesture, but now it's like dudes know that the kiss on the forehead is a thing. So now it's like kind of cornballish. So I'm gonna go with
best man ruined that. Best man ruined that for women.
Yeah.
The best man, the first one. That kind of just ruined it for everybody.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. So we're on 4. If there's any call from male or female artists for collaboration, finish my sentence. I would love to receive that call from blank.
Only one, right?
You could do a male and a female, but one of each.
Okay. I don't have a female collab that I want to do, but I definitely would love to do a Tucker collab. That's like my dream collab. And I would love to do a collab with a live band. So I'm going to say PC Band, not because Nick is here, but I love live. I just love live music, and they rock the fuck out. Like PC Band goes ham.
Appreciate it.
I love a live band. That's really my thing. Like my dream is to have a band. I would prefer band than anything else.
Yeah.
So those would be my 2.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now that it has been put out in the universe, let's do our due diligence and let's make it happen.
What's up?
Okay, let's see. Okay, from a Southern Soul music standpoint, who out there right now would you say is applying pressure? Since that's what you sing about, who bringing the pressure right now?
Oh, and Southern Soul right now, without a doubt, of course, King George is bringing pressure because every single song he has damn near is a hit. Mm-hmm. I would say King George. I'm still gonna roll with Tucker because Tucker has the longevity. I mean, Tucker is like he's like a, what do you call it? A blueprint of how to be successful in Southern Soul. The man he came in here like nobody. Him and Pokey to me are the 2 that really, as far as what I know about Southern Soul, like Johnny Taylor, those people are like blues to me. But like Southern Soul, really Tucker and Pokey, they have the longevity in this. So I would always say Tucker. I'm gonna say right now Arthur Young is killing it as far as just single artists, like male artists, not groups of bands, but Arthur Young, he really is like doing his big shit right now. Females, definitely Westlove is like going crazy. Like, you know, people just in love with her. It's her season. So I feel like Westlove is doing her thing. FPJ, you know, he's becoming popular. Big Mel is even becoming popular. Like, I feel like the younger cats, the younger artists are really just like going sick right now. And I feel like it's becoming more creative. Like 10 years ago, Southern Soul was kind of like the same thing. I mean, we could, of course, include like Cupid, you know, with the line dance and stuff like that. But I'm saying like the younger people are really just taking our stuff. We have social media now, so they got the TikTok, they got Instagram, they got Snapchat, they have all these other avenues where they can really push their music. And I think that's really what's making Southern Soul so much broader and so bigger. Young Guy, you know, Young Guy is doing his big shit right now. Like, I just feel like the younger people are really like taking it to another level. And then like Jason A, she's killing it.
Yeah.
Jason A, her voice is
I love
crazy to me. I love her voice. I love her.
Jason A is she nice,
is
man.
bad. And when you put her with a live band, you know, track is one thing because it's track, but when somebody could just blow with a live, that is
she
like
got
my
she got
favorite.
the juice.
Oh
and
my God.
she does it, and she's beautiful on the inside too. And I
she
love
seems
that.
really sweet. Yeah, I haven't
cool
personally met her, but I've been in her presence, and she, you know, she do her shit. Like, you can't take it from her. She's like really doing her thing. So I feel like all the younger artists are just or the newer artists are really putting in a lot of work, a lot of creativity, a lot of time with their music. It's not the same mundane trail ride type of stuff. Even there's nothing wrong with that. That's cool too. But
there's a place for that too.
Yeah. And then like
I
again keep saying it, but like PC being like y'all doing y'all shit like the new stuff. And what's the Zydeco dude?
S Dot.
Not S Dot, the other one. J Paul. Is that his name?
Okay. No, I don't know him. I've never met him. I've never talked to him.
He got some hot stuff too.
Yeah, I saw him on.
But everybody that I just named, that's my current playlist. Like I play PCB every day. I play Tucker every day. I play King George every day. I play Jason A every single day. That's either my ride to work or my ride from work. And Arthur Young. That's in my top 10 playlist. So that's, you know, who I think is hot outside of myself.
Okay. All right. I like. All right. So I'm gonna ask you this one last question because honestly, I don't know if I'm on 4 or 5, but I ask all the men this. I don't necessarily I never feel comfortable asking the women this, but for whatever reason, I feel comfortable asking you.
Okay.
I don't think you will be off put by it, but I ask all the men this question. So if you had the option of either having your sex tape leaked or being ridiculed for making a bad song, which would you choose? And you can plead the 5th.
Okay, would I rather have my sex tape, assuming that I had a sex tape,
right.
Or would I be ridiculed for putting out a bad song?
Which would you rather?
Oh, you could go ahead and put my sex tape out because I hate ridicule. I don't want to be ridiculed. And you're not gonna ridicule my sex tape. You're gonna say, "Oh, girl."
I knew I was asking the right one.
Yeah, I don't want to be. How Erykah Badu said it. I'm sensitive about my shit.
Yes.
I do not want to be ridiculed.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and let you leak mine.
Look, we already
go ahead and leak it, cause what? We take our music too. We too sensitive about our music.
Go and let you leak
right.
mine, partner.
Yeah, let mine out.
And if anything, if done right, the sex tape should actually catapult the
Come on, promote me. Okay, put
Promotion.
me on the map.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna get y'all off here because I've held y'all for so long. But when
I
tell
love
you,
this.
it
so
does
enjoy
not
it.
feel like a long time
Yeah, this is
at
dope.
all. Melanie, I think so much of you. Like
Aw.
seriously, because I've gotten to know you in just a brief period of time. But when we talked, when PC Band was there, Young Guy was there, we were in Monroe, I think, somewhere in Louisiana, but right there at Monroe. We connected. We
We do.
connected. And I'm a big discerner. I can discern whether this is somebody I'm gonna ever talk to again. I can kiki and caca with the best of them, but that don't mean I'll ever talk to them again.
Right.
But it was different with you, and I appreciate you for being who you are and being bold in your truth, because that's such liberty and freedom that so many of us do not have.
Yeah, for sure.
And you embody that, and so I love that, and I know we're gonna keep in touch, and we're gonna keep again.
Yeah.
And Nick,
I'm taking you out. We're going out.
Let's go.
I'm coming to Texas. We're gonna have a funky good time. We're gonna go drop some napkins and bump some elbows. And look, and then we're gonna get in our messenger and call Nick and tell him all about it.
Hey, that's too funny, man. Nah, not drop no napkins.
Yeah, we're gonna drop some napkins, Nick. Thank you for dropping.
Hey.
No, but seriously, we're going to get together for sure. Anything I can do to help you, let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me on every platform: Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, all under Melanie from My Soul. And you can find my music on any digital platform: Apple, Tidal, Amazon, all the places that you go to listen to your music. I do have a new single out entitled My Man.
My Man.
Yes, ma'am. And you can also find my EP, From My Soul, is also on all digital platforms. So please support me, stream, download, purchase, whatever way you want to listen to the music, but get into the music, honey.
Get into the music, especially now that you know the woman behind the music. To me, it makes it even more meaningful. Thank you for everybody who was here. Now let's hear from Nick. And Nick, I'm glad you came on, because I could understand you better on my platform than I could on yours. So I no longer feel like there's a little undercurrent.
Because Nick, she was 38 hot with you, but
I keep Keeta hot. It ain't no different. Hey, we got a love-hate relationship.
He had people on his live saying, "Let him speak," and I was like, "Keeta, But no, I nothing but love, brother, at all. Nothing at all. Love.
Yeah, he's so. But I saw the live performance in Monroe. You guys really, you guys are dope. So shout out to you. I hope your careers just continue to just catapult, skyrocket, and we see y'all at the Grammy somewhere in a couple of years.
Yes,
together.
What I love about them is that they are a unit, and they work together, and they also do their own thing.
Mm-hmm. And I even enjoy the covers. See, I'm old.
Love the covers.
That Montel Jordan, all that. That's my type of hype.
Have you heard them do Prince? Have you heard them do Prince?
Huh? No.
Have you heard them
they didn't do Prince that night.
Oh no, not that night. But you got to. You have to hear.
This is my first time hearing them live.
Dope.
I
will tell anybody. I
thoroughly enjoyed you guys. Yeah,
they're
I was a fan.
Go listen to it. Go listen to it. We cut a door. We recut a door and put it out. Yeah, so it's out. Yeah, it's out. I think a lot of people don't know it.
It's on like Apple or whatever.
Everywhere. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, go check it out. It's available for download. Yeah.
Make sure you check that out. Also, you guys have a new. I don't know if you've released it yet or not, but Let Me Be.
It's on the way. It's on the way.
So Let Me Be is on the way. Be on the lookout for that. Of course, everybody is still jamming. Turn her loose.
That's my song. Turn her loose, baby.
Yes.
Thank you.
Let it go.
The PC band.
And now I understand it. Now I get it. It makes perfect sense now.
I write how I think. That's
See
it.
what I'm saying?
That's it.
Right.
Let me be gonna be rough too now.
Okay. I'm waiting for that one. I'm so ready for that. When I saw the promo for it, And so I'm waiting for that one. As soon as I get it and see it, guys, I'll put it out there. Also, shout out to Squirt Kelly, who was on here just a few minutes ago. He's a part of the band as well. He's released, he has albums out. You just have to go, you have to go find them. But Squirt Kelly said, this one he just released or is releasing with FPJ.
Yeah, it's right.
Foolish.
Yeah.
Right, man.
So Melanie, make sure you check it out, add it to your playlist. I love you guys. I got to get off here because I feel like I have kidnapped y'all for almost 3 hours.
I love you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Nick, for popping up. I enjoyed you guys, and I'm gonna check you out on Tuesday. And Keeta, I'm gonna give you a call this week so we could chit chat.
Please don't forget, because I'm gonna be on the road. Like, just call me.
I'm not gonna forget. Okay, love you.
All right, y'all.
Blessed night and blessed weekend.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
Sure.